Aloha, my name is Leah, and I'm sure you've seen my videos on YouTube, and I had a Facebook page with lots of information regarding the Morgellons. I'm actually making this video today to get a lot of this new information out that's readily available to all of us. And this is a very exciting time. Today is a very exciting day for me and all of us, and from here out, no more suffering. So what has happened is in 2013, I was scratched by my dog in July of the end of June of 2013 on my left forearm, which I've stated in my other videos. And that was a direct contact with my blood, which put this into my bloodline. It was a serious condition that hit me within a week. I had sores all over my arm that moved around my body that never healed, the lesions that never heal, and then within a year I had the fibers and octagon shapes and different looking things, and then I was able to cleanse my body of that using ancient clays and things like that. Very little, as it is like little blades. So, but I did that to cleanse my body, and I believe I rid my body of a lot of that in that first year. A lot has happened, and we all know the story. We all know kind of what this does to you. So I won't get into a lot of that. It was the typical Morgellons findings, or possibly Lyme's, or a few things. In my research, what I did is I went ahead and let my body be utilized for meds and whatever needed to be done to try to stop this in any way through Western medicine and a lot of different forms. I went through a whole regimen of 3 and 6 months at a time, which is cycles, one cycle and maybe even two, just to make sure, to see if there was anything going on. During that time I took all antibiotics that were possible through Western medicine. So any of your regular antibiotics that are available to us, I took them all for 3 and 6 months at a time. What it did is it made this even worse. And the last antibiotic that I got that was to be taken long term, that was known to us, was the doxycycline. And that was what was known to us to be a cure for this. The doxycycline, in fact, almost killed me. It was very deadly to this illness, and it just made it go off even worse. So all of those things were very bad. It hurt my liver, my kidneys, obviously all my organs. But we had to get through this to find out what would work and what wouldn't. This was documented through a big medical big medical database worldwide. I've been sick for a little over 5.5 years. And I did qualify for a full disability on this many years later, 5 years later. But there was a judge that granted a full disability on this, and we did go back to the date of the incident, the dog scratch. I went through a lot of doctors. I was initially told I was crazy and I was doing this to myself, and then I got a second opinion, third opinion, and I had never been told that except for that first time. But because my past records could not provide evidence for that, so it couldn't stand. I had a very severe case. This covered my entire body and was devastating. There was nothing that stopped the pain, nothing that stopped it. Everything I was doing was making it worse. So I had several cocktails of antibiotics, 3 antibiotics at a time through intravenous, everything. So we knew that there was nothing currently we had that was going to stop this at all. It progressed through the years. I had things that came out of my body. I had an intact specimen that came out of my right forearm with the scar left on my arm of its exact shape of its body. I have documented that. There are pictures of that, and after this video, hopefully, I will be able to present a slideshow, a recap of pictures of what I look like and what came out of my body and those sort of things to help you understand if this looks like something that you've been suffering from. My guess is this will be people that have been suffering for 5 years or longer, because obviously there was no answers before this. As of right now, there are. So there will not be any more people that will become sick like this and be untreated. It is going to be treated and handled and dealt with appropriately and to the best of their will. So you know a little bit about me. You've seen some of my videos, possibly, and seen my Facebook page. That was very detailed in a lot of the things that I was doing to get this out of my body and cleanse and do things naturally, because Western medicine wasn't working, but also everything went hand in hand. So a very important thing for me was smoothies. I noticed I was always sleeping. I was so tired, I couldn't move, I had no energy, and I was eating. Sometimes I wasn't, because I was stressed out and had anxiety and a lot of pain, as other people did. But most of the time I was eating, but my body wasn't getting nutrients. So therefore I had no energy, no vitamins, no nutrients. And when I switched from eating solid foods to smoothies that are extremely clean vegan smoothies that provide every nutrient I need daily, I did those twice a day. I no longer ate solids. It was sort of like if I felt like it, I did. And that would have to be sauerkraut, garlic, all sorts of different things. So whatever I ate was a mixture of all things that needed to help my body. It was very extreme. I had a very extreme case. I was sick for a lot of years, going undiagnosed and untreated, and so it was very severe. It took a lot of things, everything. And then, you know, I did a lot of detoxing my body to help my body get it out. These hot baths with salts, ocean salts, baking soda, and vinegar. And you can sort of make your own ratio on that. I believe it starts with a half a cup each, and then up. I worked my way up quite a bit to really do heavy detoxes, because every time I did that, I could get those fibers out, and I could get the things out, and I just felt like I could sleep for at least 4 hours after that. It was really nice. So generally I do those in the evening, because also I'd get some die-off. So I'd get very sick and I'd get a headache. So as soon as I got out of the bath, I was drinking lots of water during the bath, at least a big mason jar, and then more afterwards. And then I would take a Tylenol immediately so I wouldn't get the headache, fight off some of the severe flu-like symptoms that are the Herxheimer reaction of the die-off, the toxins in your body. And that's really the hard part of this, because it's like a flu on 10 times worse, 100 times worse. And then the swelling and stuff. But during that time too, you can drink lots of coconut cream. And I drank, with my smoothies, I mix them with pure coconut cream, a can each. So a scoop of my stuff and that, and a little bit of water, because it was really thick. But the coconut cream will go through your body like an eternal astringent, and it releases things from your intestine walls and makes everything, and so many other properties, help you to get healthy and while you're doing this. And then you know, cleanliness was really big for me. If my clothes, I had to put on clean clothes constantly. The fibers are coming off your body, so you got to do clean clothes. You have to bleach everything. I went with all white for a long time, and then colors that could be bleached, so pastels, things like that, that would still look decent to wear and didn't look weird. Obviously, if you bleach dark clothes, they're not going to look appropriate. But you need to bleach and baking soda and your laundry soap, and you'll find something that works for you. But I know the baking soda is very good for this and cleansing the clothes and things like that. It's a natural product. And those things you'll want to buy in very big bulk, the vinegar, the baking soda, and I get those at the big store. It'll help with the cost. This could be a fight, depending on how long you've had it. It could be a fight for a year or a little bit longer, even with the new meds that we have today. So cleanliness, always vacuuming everything and wiping your countertops. And what I did was I didn't want to wipe anything. I just vacuum. So I have a vacuum with attachments. I vacuum every top of everything in the floors and clean the floors appropriately, keep everything clean and keep the fibers out in the dust and things like that. So my house is pretty, easy to clean. There's not a lot of things around, so I've made it easy for myself to clean with not a lot of knickknacks and things like that, or clutter, whatever. So very important to keep your area clean, dusted, under the beds. If your beds are up on frames, they have to be dusted everywhere. Everywhere has to be always dusted and clean no matter what, if you're wiping things down, but you've got to dust it down. So that was a part of keeping things clean and using lots of bleach in the shower. I would mix a bleach and a laundry soap is what I found. There was a certain laundry soap that worked really well, and it was in a green bottle, but I would mix that with the bleach in there, and it would really clean up the bathtub and keep things clean in there and your bathroom, and that's very important as well. So cleanliness was really important. And then all healthy foods, again, no sugar until you're able to get the meds, the regimen for this, because the sugar feeds them. That's it. It starts moving, it's active, it's horrifying, and you are just putting yourself through hell for nothing. Don't give them what they want, and they don't move, they don't function as well. And so sugar is very, very bad. Cut sugar all the way out. I did a fast for 6 weeks before I started the regimen, the meds for this, which cleansed my body of a lot of things, and they were starving and they were out there, and then boom, I just hit them really good. Okay, so now the coconut cream is really important. Any way that you can incorporate that. I found I love it in my smoothies because it makes it really thick and creamy, and your body just craves things. When you start to crave something, that's because there's a nutrients in there and your body needs it. And when you start drinking these smoothies with the coconut cream, like myself, I was craving it. It was delicious. My body needed it, and the coconut cream was helping me tremendously. And I hadn't found that until about maybe 9 months ago when I started the new meds, and it just came to me, and I found it to be a binder at first for the toxin die-offs. It helped me. It helped my stomach, coated my stomach, and it really stopped those, and that was beautiful. But then I found later it helps to release some things as well, so that was pretty awesome. Okay, so cayenne pepper, incorporate that any way that you can. Capsules, however you can do that, because that is very good for the body, for the Morgellons patients. Okay, and that's cleaning your blood. That's what you need to do. You really have to clean your blood. You have to do everything you can, clean your blood, get oxygen flowing in your body, everything all over again. Your body has been totally ravaged, and you have to go in and find every which way to clean your blood, help your tissues, your joints, your muscles, your everything, your brain, your teeth. For me, my teeth are just basically probably going to fall out. I'm probably going to have to get a new grill. And because this took all my nutrients for so long before I figured it out that I would need a smoothie where I would get my nutrients from my food. So I'm having some severe dental issues. I have a tooth that needs to be pulled. This has been going on for a couple months, but I'm waiting till I'm finished with my meds, and I feel comfortable with that, and then that I will do. But I do believe that if I pull a tooth, something bad is going to happen right there with that big hole. So not wanting to do that. It is very painful. I'm a little bit swollen here. That's what's going on there. So just been taking some penicillin for that. It's been working good. Keep it down, swishing with the ocean salt, and caring for that until I can address that situation. I'm not ready to document that part of this illness. I'm so close to being over it, I'm going to wait. There was another lady that did document severe jaw and teeth issues due to, I believe, possible dental work that was done where it was attracted to that area. Then again, we don't know for sure, but I do know that's what happened, and it was pretty scary for her. She was in a lot of pain for a very long time. It was very ugly. Dentists couldn't figure it out. So, you know, again, we're just paving the way. They're studying us, and I'm not ready to do that. But I do use the coconut oil to pull, and that helps all of my teeth and keeps everything really nice, and also my teeth very white, because I do drink a lot of coffee now. Okay, so now that's that, and then so now you kind of know that, and then so now I'm gonna get right to like the exciting stuff where the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute collaborated with Antonio Osuna through the Granada University, which is a branch of our United States. And he defined many parasites, and they submitted it to the biggest parasite database located in the UK currently. This information was released on November 5th of 2018. It was the most exciting news that I had ever received in my life. My life had been so bad for so many years. And I had been separated from everyone and everything that I loved for so long, and I lost so many things, and so much happened along the way. But as you know, that's what's happening to us. We all have gone through these losses, and now we're going to go through the gains. So if you've been sick around the time that I have, 5 years plus or a little less, we're that round, and so pretty much I think below us there won't be too many people, because there is early screening now, and this is not going to be a problem anymore. Okay, so first of all, I found a really good doctor that was a natural doctor. I found Vega testing, and I did a regimen with that. Okay, so kind of back here, I skipped. So basically any of this information that you want to know about what I'm telling you is located in the within the Wellcome Trust Sanger Institute. The study was done by collaborated with Antonio Osuna. And they opened the whole arena, and there was one in particular, this parasite that was stealth, that was of the Angiostrongylosis family, that was creating hairs or hairs or fibers, and so maybe in a cocoon type. They don't get into detail as to what it did with those fibers, but it did make them. Okay, so now we have, there's our fibers. They're not so alien, and it's not a mystery anymore. I'm very grateful for this. I've never been more grateful for anything in my life. So basically now we have the answers that we need, and it's all located there for you. And they know a lot about it. They actually even came up with the 5 compounds that that are going to make a 1-pill cure for this. One of those compounds was like a protease, like, you know, obviously papaya is very good for that. Okay, so this is the Angiostrongylosis costarricensis. That is the one that makes the hairs. It is a stealth parasite. It is looking like the roundworm, or possibly the rat lungworm. Now, this study was done around the globe. And within this study, the information they released, they did in fact say that they were given permission, the government and everybody, they needed to do a worldwide global surveillance. And so in essence what happens is they need to find out where the problem is, who's dealing with this, what's going on, and come up with a conclusion. And there was a lot of money donated for them to do this, and this person, Antonio, came up with this information. And so basically they have definitely defined it, and all the information is there for us, and very exciting time. So I'm just gonna kind of move through here. So basically they allowed for there to be a surveillance. Okay, so a lot of the people that were sick like myself, that were experiencing odd behaviors around them from people, and the sense of being followed or gang stalked or a targeted individual, that was all a part of a global surveillance study, because that was what they needed to do to get to the bottom of this, to see how the people were really acting and how they were reacting to this new meds, and where did this happen and how they could stop it. And I'm sure they had to study soils and people and areas and do the best that they could to get us this information that they got to us on November 5th of 2018 through the Sanger Institute. So I'm very excited about all of that, and that really, I don't know about you, but that's really relieved my mind. I did think I was going crazy at a certain point, because I couldn't explain a lot of things that were happening around me, and I couldn't explain why, if this was just a parasite, why was it so mysterious, and there was such a shadow across everything, that it was, you know, alien. And so it really hurt a lot of the patients, because first of all, they were being told by doctors that they were crazy and they were doing this to themselves, and at the same time they were being followed and watched by these doctors and the government to figure this out. So it was a really tough situation for the patients. So for me, when I read that article, that was what I got, was that they were like admitting that's what they did, that's what had to take place in order for them to come to this conclusion and get these good results out to us, and to help the world and help all these people, these beautiful people that were dying all over the world. They were taking their own lives because it was just so incredibly painful and undefined and not understood. And you know, like myself, I mean, I lost friends, family members. Everybody was very confused because we did not know what was going on, and it was a very scary situation because a lot of people knew me before this happened. So for something like this to happen and be so severe and so quick, it was very disturbing, to say the least. Okay, so skipping around a little bit because, you know, my mind, I'm still recovering and working on things, and so my mind goes here and there. I lose my train of thought. A lot of information. I'm a little excited today, and I'm glad that I got to make this video. And you know, I prayed and meditated before I did this video, and I asked God to really come through me and help me to say what I needed to today to get this stuff out. And the people that are seeking this help, do not have these answers yet, are not aware of the Sanger information that was released. Now you are. Okay, so basically, so what I did was I found Vega testing, and currently right now, besides the lumbar testing and the staining that's available through Western medicine, which is not so readily available, it's very tough to get those because they bounce. There's a game right now, well, right now what's going on is it's still being implemented. So we're just lacking a few things right now. But if you wanted to get a jump start, like myself, I found Vega testing. I found a doctor that was highly recommended for this testing, that he is very knowledgeable of all of these frequencies, and this was seen before. Now, that is the only way to detect this particular, and I'm the angostrongylosis, but I'm gonna call it strongy because it's a strong little sucker. And it's angry, so you can call it angry strongy if you want, or I'm just gonna call it strongy. Okay, so basically, it's the only testing that can detect this currently. I would love to do and find out what I could to get this testing FDA approved. That may be a very long road, and to be honest, I'm making this video because I'm really kind of done with everything, and I'm going to start the rest of my life. This has been really horrifying, and this is a new year, and it started off really great with the news from Sanger. And I know it to be true because I've been treating myself, I've been being treated for 9 months with these medications, which has made me better and here today and as good as I am. I have long-term damage, obviously. I cannot even imagine what my insides look like, the holes, considering the silver dollar holes I had on the outside of my body everywhere. But I try not to concentrate on that. I don't want to give that any energy as I'm moving forward in this 2019, this new year. It's beautiful. We got the information. I don't know about you, but I got the information that I was searching for 5.5 years. So very exciting time. I've been taking the meds already. I'm almost cleared of that. And then I'll need to be working on some other things. Obviously, I've got damage to a lot of my body, and I'll be working on that. And that's why this will be my last video and my last anything to do with this. I may answer some questions below, but I'm really having to move forward. This has hurt me a great deal, and the only way that I can move forward and be healthy and happy for my family and friends is to go ahead and just stop everything and start anew. But before I did that, because I was so involved in this, my heart really was that when I saw all these people, and I was searching online, and I found all these people with Morgellons, and they looked like me, and they were beautiful, strong people all over the world, and they were dying, and I was watching them. They were there the day before, and the next day they weren't. And it was because of the illness, and it was breaking my heart. Each person, I remember their face, and it broke my heart. And every day I fought harder and harder, and I fought all the doctors and everybody. I went to some pretty extreme, and I'm still there. I'm still doing that, but not hard. It's not a fight anymore. It's there. It's okay. It's out in the open. This is not a mystery. They've got it figured out. We've got a regimen for it. There's a cure. There's early screening, and that's for the first few months. But obviously, if you're like me, then you know we're doing some different things, and that's the Vega testing, and there's meds now. There's meds for that, and there's a couple different ones. It's about 3 initial ones, and then and in between that, and you'll bounce back and forth. You'll do that, and you'll take antibiotics, because obviously you've got to fight the infection that comes up. That's what makes you sick. Not so much the meds that you'll need to take, the antiparasitics for this, but more the toxic die-off is severe. And that causes a swelling, inflammation, and you'll have to take an antibiotic for that. So you'll switch back and forth, and this could go on for a year. So during that time, you want to drink lots of smoothies and be as strong as you can, because if you've had as long as I have and you want to get rid of it, this is the only choice. You have no other choice. You live with it, or you get rid of it, or you die with it. So a lot of that, and then a lot of cleansing my blood and my body inside, and the detoxes. So the medicine that does get taken is it definitely will clear your body of this, and it has worked very well for myself, and I'm doing really good. I was at the hospital at least, and by ambulance, at least 4 or 5 times a month. This went on for years in extreme pain at the doctor's office 6 days a week when they were open the 6 days a week. Bounced back and forth to doctors, everything. It was really, really severe. So, so it's great to have had this regimen, and I have not been back to the hospital. I think I went once for somebody else that I had to take. Other than that, and that was before we had gone to a hospital medical facility in Los Angeles. That was the end of our journey at that point. That was on November 6th, so obviously November 5th the information was out, so it's there. So this is not a struggle, it's not a mystery. You can speak with your doctors about this. You can tell them, refer them to this institute, to this information. Find out if they're able to get those meds for you. If not, there are parasitic doctors that do the Vega testing, that are homeopathic, that have a total regimen for this that was studied. It was documented worldwide, and I really cannot release that information. You just have to find that on your own. It's on the internet and it's available. There are doctors that are parasitic doctors that right now are knowing what to do. They do know, and it's okay for them to treat you with this because we are now able to do some testing. So there is still the staining testing and also the lumbar testing. And the medical facility in Los Angeles was ready to do a lumbar test immediately. It takes 30 minutes, an hour whole procedure. And you can find out right off the bat if you have this in your fluids. Okay, so things are really good, and it's been very hard this last 5 years, and up to 10 for some others. I know people that even more years. Very rare that we see these individuals or know them, but I have seen someone up to 20 years. And I've seen someone up to 10, mostly 7, mostly 6 a year around me, and then another set of people about 4 or 5. That's what I've noticed in my study. So anyway, that's all the great news that I really have for you, and I was really excited to be able to have enough energy this morning, and I do feel really energized today. I feel like we've come a really long ways. And I feel very excited about the new study and their results, and I feel like they did a very good job with that, and I feel like it completely defines this alien mystery of illness that's around the world. It's being addressed, and there's information for everybody. And feel free to ask questions or comment below. Please don't attack me in any way. I know there's some weird people out there that get on these internet and they just, this is not a place for you to pull me apart or pick me to shreds. This is just a place where we're discussing this. I can only answer, obviously, what I know. I can only share with you what I know and what is out there and legit. And, I'm not arguing anything here. I know there's just a lot of information everywhere and everybody's doing different things, and I'm just sharing merely what I did and how I made it through this. And I wanted folks to see me and know that, I am a real person like you. This happened, and it was very unfortunate, but there is help now. And we're very grateful to the Sanger Institute, first of all, and also to the collaborator, which was Antonio Osuna. Antonio is the one that defined this, and he is our angel. We love you, Antonio Osuna, and we thank you for all your hard work and helping us and giving us a second chance and a choice, for giving us a choice, because none of us were given a choice to live or die or even know what we were dealing with. And now we were given the choice. So, and not only that, we were also given a cure. So we're very excited about this. We thank you so much. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that everybody's able to get this information And I love you guys, and stay strong and stay faithful. My faith to God and my prayers and all of that is really, really what carried me through this. And when everything else was gone, when all of everything was gone and I was stripped of everything, at the end of the day it was myself and spirit. And I became very, very close with that. And I know that's what carried me through. And we all have that. And prayer is good all the time. And God loves you. I love you. So excited. The research is there. Get out there and find it. Aloha.